All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the GMS, who rule well. And also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word of sincerity and truth. All right, so today I wanted to talk about something that we encountered at camp this past weekend, and it was eventful to say the least. It was a guy came up, and I saw him. He was over there, and he sitting there with his sunglasses on, and I felt from him like a spirit of arrogancy. I knew that whatever it was, he had a problem with us. And then some other guy came up. He was a weird looking dude. He had, the sides and back of his head shaved, and the top of his head was like had dreads, and he had these weird earrings, and he looked like a Persian. I kept calling him the Persian. But I was watching him, as we was, conducting camp, and I just knew he had an issue with us. So finally the guy comes up, and he starts asking questions. He asked the elder, where is mercy? And the elder Adama, sincerely told him, mercy is with the Heavenly Father. And he starts to, we start to get into it. We were getting ready to get into it, and in his arrogancy, was trying to interrogate us. And then once we called him on it, he started to backpedal, of course, right? But as the altercation continued on, I was watching the dude, man, and though I made light of it, I wish I hadn't, because I was looking at the dude, and you could see the different demons that was on him. You could see them. And like he would go in and out of these different personalities. Sometimes he was arrogant, right? Like real confident and sure of himself, and then other times he was laughing, and then he got into a spirit where he wanted to be a bully at one time, and then he went back to the smiling, and then he was going in and out of these different personalities, man. And I said to myself, this dude really got demons on him. And the elder called it. He said, you come in with that one demon, then that one demon leaves and goes and gets 7 others. Okay. And he had them. He had all 8 of them. He might have had 9 or 10 of them bad boys. But I wanted to talk about this because the scriptures talk about it, right? Now, when you look at today's day and age, right, we've got this opioid crisis, right? And a lot of it comes from these I'll say misdiagnosed diseases that people have, right? And a lot of them being, mental diseases, depression, and any other. I can't think of them all. You got some bipolar, which is a sort of personality disorder. There's all types, and the reason why I say misdiagnosed is because these are nothing more than demons that have possessed these people. We look at it as a sickness, a mental sickness, and they can never quite understand what causes a thing. And I'll tell you, the answer is they've been possessed with demons, man. And it's I was looking at this man, and I was like, man, this dude, you can see him going in and out of, the demons, man. And it was definitely a sight to see. But I wanted to go into some of these things because, like as I said, it's in the scriptures. And I think I may have done a show on this before. I don't know. It may have been a long time ago. But as I was looking up a couple of things, I started looking familiar. But in any case, I thought it was good to talk about it again. I'm not exactly sure where I want to start, but let me do it this way, right? This is I'll start here with this one. I wasn't sure, but whatever. This is Matthew 4:24. It says, and his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with diverse diseases and torments. Okay, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and he healed them. Okay, so when you see all these like diverse diseases, right, that today are unexplainable, like you don't know what makes somebody have a seizure, right? You say, oh, it's a central nervous system, right, and you grow out of it, and or they'll say this, right? I was looking up epilepsy, which is where this word lunatic comes from. I'll get into it in just a second, but I was looking it up, and I'll show that in a second as well. They'll say that you can grow out of it, right? But then why do adults get it? if it's something that you can grow out of, if like, because I had my granny, she had kids in and out of her house, and one of the kids had seizures on a regular basis, and they attributed it to his mom being on drugs. But now that I have some hindsight, and I have the scriptures, I understand that that little man had demons on him, man. And it would give him the shakes, and sometimes he would say, I see fire. He would be like in the bathtub bugging out, saying that he sees, like, it was crazy. But anyway, again, these are diseases that happen from demons that attack certain parts of your body, man. Right? So you have if it's a central nervous system, it'll be seizures, right, or epilepsy, or in this case they'll call you a lunatic, right, if you look into the scriptures. Let me see, I should have looked this word up, palsy, but I didn't, so I'll do it now. Yeah, that's what sick of palsy, one that's palsy. Paralytic, suffering from the relaxing of the nerves of one side, disabled, weak of limb, right? These are from demons touching your body, man. What's the word right here? There was another word too. I think I just wanted to show lunatic, but check this out, right? Where'd it go? This is the word I wanted to look up, right? But really quick, right? I want to show you this, right? It says to be moonstruck or lunatic, right? To be epileptic. Now listen to this statement. It says epilepsy being supposed to return and increase with the increase of the moon. This meaning is doubtful, as the Greeks knew nothing of epilepsy. But why would you? How do you? Maybe they didn't call it epilepsy, right? Because they at that time were more understanding, right? That these conditions came from these people being possessed with demons, man. And there's gonna come a time when the Heavenly Father starts revealing more spiritual things, you're going to see these men of the Lord, starting from the elder apostles on down, casting demons out of people, man, live and in color. You know? And it's funny, because I was thinking about this. I was like, demon possession has become a normalcy, right? Because I'm sure this man in his world is a functioning dude, right? In his world, whatever he does for a living, I don't know what he did for a living or whatever, but in his world, he's looked at as normal. Nothing's wrong with him, but I seen it. I seen the different demons and different personalities that he went in and out of. He's not normal. He's not functioning, right? And not to I hope not to neglect to, I don't know how to say that, but not to mention he had been drinking. You could smell the liquor coming off of his breath. At first I didn't, but once he got a little closer, I could smell it. And it's funny, right? What do they call when you go to the liquor store? They say it's called wine and spirits, right? And I believe, in my heart of hearts, I don't have no proof, but when you are in certain states, right, you're more susceptible for the demons to take control of your thoughts and your body, man. And when you get drunk, or when you're on weed, or if you're super tired, any of those things where you can't control yourself, the demons take over, and they drive your body, man. And they drive your body. And I believe that. I believe when you're in these states where your mental strength is not at its peak, because you're inebriated, or I put being tired in that same bucket, because you're not at your the top of your capacity, because you're tired, and all these things they take over. So this man, he was on this alcohol, and the demons was just controlling him, man. You could see it. He was like 5 different people, man. So let me get into the scriptures. I'm talking, but I just want to show this other word here, right here. This is let me play it.
Strong's G 1139. Daimonizomai. Daimonizomai.
Daimonizomai, right? It means to be under the power of a demon, right? And in this case, it was more than one. But I wanted to read this entry right here, right? I want to show you this, right? To be under power of a demon, right? Philemon and Stobaeus of the insane, right? Right? When you call somebody insane, that's another mental issue, right? So let's look it up. In a state of mind which prevents normal perception, behavior, or social interaction, seriously mentally ill. You see? And what are they connecting it to? Being demon possessed. Right? It says I don't know what these like abbreviations mean. I should look them up. But these are just different people that spoke on this topic, right? So it says this in the New Testament. Let me pronounce it the right way. I'll try to. Demoni. Let me play it one more time.
Strong's G 1139. Daimonizomai. Daimonizomai.
Right. So for those of you people naming your kid Damien and Damon or Any name that sounds like that, you're naming your son after a fucking devil. You know. So let me read this. It says Demanatsumai are persons afflicted with especially severe diseases, either bodily or mental, right? Such as paralysis, blindness, deafness, loss of speech, epilepsy, melancholy, insanity, etc. You see? So when they touch, certain parts of your body, the disease changes, right? Like even with the brother, I wish I remember the brother's name, but he's down there in Dallas. He gets into the different herbs that you should take, but he talked about how mucus is, the only disease that you have, and when it manifests in different parts of your body, the disease name changes, but only based on where it is in the body, right? And it's the same thing with mental illnesses, or when you're possessed by demons. Depending on what part of you is touching or manifesting itself is how the name changes, but it's all demon possession. Okay? It says, whose bodies, in the opinion of the Jews, demons had entered, and so held possession of them, as not only to afflict them with ills, but also to dethrone the reason and take its place themselves. Accordingly, the possessed were accustomed to express the mind and consciousness of the demons dwelling in them, and their cure was thought to require the expulsion of the demon. Okay? But on this subject, see BD American edition under the word demoniacs, right? And references there. So, which is funny, right? This reminds me of Animaniacs, right? Which is but them, if you remember that cartoon, them little bastards was little demons, man, running around Warner Brothers Studios fucking shit up. If you remember that cartoon, man, they was little demons, man. All right, so you can go into all of these scriptures, but I only have a few of them written down. But I just want to show you a couple of them, then I'll get out of here. All right, so in so many words, demon possession is a real thing. We witnessed it this past weekend, man, and there's gonna come a time where we cast those demons out, and that man wasn't, speaking as a man, worthy of being healed from his demons, but there are going to be people who sincerely want to be, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, those demons are going to be dispelled, man. All right, so this is Matthew 8:28-34. It says, and when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergeshenes, there met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Yahushai, thou Son of the Most High? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? And there was a good way off from them an herd of many swine feeding. So the devils besought him, saying, if thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. And he said unto them, go. And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine, and behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea, and perished in the waters. You see? Now check this out. And they that kept them fled, and went their ways into the city, and told everything, and what was befallen to the possessed of the devils. And behold, the whole city came out to meet Yahushai, and when they saw him, they besought him that he would depart out of their coasts. You see, so they was shook, man. They knew those two guys who were possessed with the demons. You see, so they was like, yo, get this dude out of here, man. Get this guy out of here. They were frightened by it, man. And there's the same story in Mark as well, right? But I read Matthew 4:24, and I'll just read this last one here. This is Matthew 9:32. Matthew 9:32. It says, As they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with a devil, right? Now, dumb in this sense, I believe, means he can't speak, right? Blunted, dull, blunted, or lamed in tongue. See, dumb, blunted, dull in hearing, deaf. So in this case, I think it means he can't talk. I think it'll say it. That he started to speak once the demon was out of a dumb man possessed with a devil. And when the devil was cast out, the dumb spake. And the multitudes marveled, saying, it was never so seen in Israel. You see? So the Lord Yahushua, a part of the fame that he had gathered was because he was casting out these demons, man. You see? So one thing I wanted to do was go into, I think it was back in Matthew. I wanted to just show one more thing. Matthew 4. I want to show one more thing. I think this is the one that had no. Let me do this because I want to show you this. I can't remember what scripture it was. Yeah, yep. Matthew 4:24. I want to show you this word lunatic real quick. Right, because when you say somebody's a lunatic, right? I did pull this up, but I'll just do it again really quick. I want to show something. Here we go. Epileptic or epilepsy, right? Because I pulled it up. I just want to read this really quick, right? It says, epilepsy is a central nervous system or neurological disorder in which brain activity becomes abnormal, causing seizures or periods of unusual behavior, right? That man that we ran into, he was having some unusual behavior, and it was induced by those spirits he had been drinking, right? Sensations and sometimes loss of awareness. Anyone can develop epilepsy. Epilepsy affects both males and females of all races, ethnic backgrounds, and ages. Seizure symptoms can vary widely. Some people with epilepsy simply stare blankly for a few seconds during a seizure, while others repeatedly twitch their arms or legs. Having a single seizure does not mean you have epilepsy. At least 2 unprovoked seizures are generally required for an epilepsy diagnosis, right? Treatment with medications, which will probably make it worse, or sometimes surgery can control seizures for the majority of people with epilepsy, right? So these people have no idea, man. These people have no idea, okay? Let's hear some symptoms: temporary confusion, a staring spell, uncontrollable jerking movements of the arms and leg, loss of consciousness or awareness, psychic symptoms such as fear, anxiety, or deja vu. It's crazy. So yeah, you can get into this, but that dude, man, and then when he was done, he tried to back out of the conversation. We started dealing with somebody else, and he tried to back who was another one possessed with demons, right? He tried to back out of it, and he went across the street, and when we was closing up camp, he was across the street standing in front of the pizza shop looking like a weirdo. It's funny, man. I had a moment like we fuck with Jake, that act like that, and I guess there's times where I expect more out of people, but that man wasn't right in his head. He was possessed, and I had expectations of the man as a well-bodied, well-thinking man, but he wasn't, and I need to start paying attention more to that, to those people who may be possessed with demons, man. All right, so that's it. That's all I had. Hopefully that was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachah Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well, and also honor and salutations to those of you who are the hopeful elect. With that, I say shalom.